Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Virgo. If Virgo is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, knock, knock, knock. And let's see what these tea leaves have to say. Okay, and I hope you all are doing well. The card that I pulled for tonight's reading is the Ace of Cups. And this is kind of, you can think of this in relation to maybe the Grail. A source of that kind of divine sustenance, kind of reaching that mythical key point of upward movement, ascension, having kind of moving beyond the duality, the spiritual dualities into maybe more of the spectrum and complexities of divine relationships with God or other deities or whatever you relate to the universe and its consciousness. And really just getting to a place of authentic living, love, being true to self, having a clear heart, confidence in who you are, what you are, where you want to go, your path, your true will, all of these kinds of things. It's a really nice energy. Now getting there, that's the thing, right? That's the tricky part. Okay. So let's take a look. Now, the first thing I saw was we have this pretty mighty it looks like almost like a walrus. But it also definitely looks like Capricorn. So it feels to me you have a very watery person in your life. This is somebody who is very much in that emotional space. And watery because it has kind of this more ambiguous, like sea creature kind of energy, right? But also kind of, then you can add in that Capricorn energy as well. Maybe they are a Capricorn person of some placement. But I think more than that, it's this kind of, oh my goodness, it seems like something that has been very, very active in your psyche, especially in your dream world. And I say this because I kind of think of these dreamier spaces, these meditative spaces, these interior landscapes very much kind of lay within that kind of unconscious ocean, the aether. The place where all of these ambiguous and abstract symbols, themes, motifs kind of arise and manifest in our consciousness, in our material world even. So I feel like this is kind of, somebody who has very watery characteristics, psychically, emotionally, but I also think that this is somebody who you have dreamt about. This is somebody who you exist deeply with in different varied kinds of realities, sub-realities, interior spaces. So this is like a very blessed person, somebody who is very much tied to you soul to soul. This could be a child, this could be a lover, a beloved, a muse, a teacher, you know, somebody that, I mean, one of these really profound archetypal positions of within your life. Okay. And so this is a beautiful thing. I think that they are very active in your emotional life right now. I feel like this is kind of a really active love affair. It doesn't have to be romantic, but this is a thing where there's a lot of inspiration here, a lot of togetherness, no feelings of being lonely, because this is very active in your life right now, and enjoyable. I really feel like you are feeling very supported and loved and seen, and vice versa, they are as well. You know, I feel like in your movements, you have been of a clear heart. You've been speaking things into being, manifesting, you know, and also really just being like super honest about what you mean, how you mean it, you know, mean what you say what you mean. Definitely living that kind of vibe right now. I'm also seeing this person who looks like they have those like those wader pants. I think that's what they're called, like the ones that you wear when you go fishing, and they are out there fishing. They've caught their fish as well. So I think you are in really good positioning for achieving the goals that you have right now. I think that you have been putting in the work, and just this real clear, concise thinking, execution, doing what you need to do, and you're really making progress. There's a lot of you know, material things being produced of this. I think that if you are starting a business, if you are working hard in your career, if you have creative projects, all of this kind of stuff is really, it's really coming together, and you are showing a lot for the work that you have done. And I think that you're feeling very motivated to continue on, to continue to get more into this work, maybe even diversifying within the work that you're doing, and you know, just continuing to increase your skill set and be able to, you know, build upon this thing that you have going. And that's, you know, that's wonderful. That's a good place to be in. And that's very Virgo of you too, by the way. Let's see. What else do we have going on? All right. I did want to look at this one over here because it also looked like I keep looking at this one. I'm like, it doesn't look like something else, but no, it really does to me look like a pig with wings, and it really this vibe of like when pigs can fly. Well, pigs have flown. So the whatever it was that like really you thought was never going to happen in your life, or that you were never going to achieve, right? I think that's really come to pass recently, and you are like very surprised by the fact that, and I think this maybe even has to do with this work stuff, because I think that maybe you were a little bit of a doubter, and kind of had this like very rational mindset about whatever you were getting into. And even, you know, I think that you've been trying very hard within your work, right? And you have surprised yourself, I think, and just surprised by your abilities. I mean, really, I think that that's a big Virgo quality, is that we kind of minimize our abilities. We try to keep it within, you know, reason, and then down a couple notches so we aren't kind of really let down by things. So when things go so well, it's kind of like that vibe, like when pigs can fly, that really just absurd, you know, things that come to be. And you're kind of just like, okay, well, I guess we could really do anything, can't we? And I think that's probably why you have this energy of wanting to diversify, start doing other things. Maybe you have other little hustles that you want to put some energy into. Maybe you want to go back to school, get some extra training. You know, I think that there are no limits here. I think your abilities are, you know, up into the stratosphere. You could do whatever you want to do. And it really, what it comes down to is how much time do you have, right? Are you good at time management? You know, most of us are. As Virgos, right? Some of us, like myself, we have our other little placements that sometimes can keep us, you know, constantly working, having to be very intentional about our time management. But I think really that's going to be your biggest limitation, is when are you going to fit all this stuff in? But I think that, you know, with the right attitude and the right scheduling, you are going to be able to get it done. Now I'm looking at this. We have a 7 and we have a 7 here. We've been seeing a lot of 7s lately. There's a 7 here. That one's upside down. So we have 3 7s for sure. So more of the 7s this week. And that's been a big energy. And this one right here, this is interesting. It reminds me of a little buoy. And if you don't know what a buoy is, it's like out in the water. It's the thing that floats. It's kind of, it shows you where the board, like where you can go in the water. And so we have that with the little flag on it. And it kind of like it goes up and down with the water. And I feel like, I mean, for me, my connection to these is I just think about when I was a kid, we used to swim out to them and see how far we could go out into the lake. And, you know, because past there usually is where the boats are at, or where there's a strong current, or, you know, something where they don't want you swimming. But I feel like the energy here is just kind of sailing past it, really just swimming out as far as you can. Being a little bit of a risk taker, not following those rules, are you? So I think that, you know, this is going to either, you know, kind of be something that becomes problematic, or it's going to be what gets you ahead of the rest. But I think that you have that fighting spirit. You want to explore. You want to kind of test your limits. And I think that if you do that within reason, and I know that's kind of like, well, I'm already, you know, bending the rules a little bit or pushing myself to the limit. But, you know, still checking in with yourself, making sure it's not too much, because you don't want to like crash and burn, right? So I think, you know, just, yes, incremental kind of going a little bit past, you know, doing a little bit more and building upon whatever it is that you are working to do, right? Taking on more projects, you know, trying to put in a little bit more work than the rest, you know, if you're trying to do some kind of advancement at work. You know, I don't know, whatever it is. I know that we as Virgos, we love to be busy. We love to be filling our time. And that's not a bad thing, but we can get burnt out. And, you know, the other thing, getting kind of resentful when, you know, others don't kind of match our energy, or we feel like we're like carrying all the weight on our back, you know, and like, the thing is, we have to remember most of the time we're the ones making these decisions, you know, without anybody else putting that extra work on our plate. We decide to do it. So we have to be mindful that we're not blaming others, not getting upset about it, you know, just trying to remember that we're the ones that are being maybe a little overly proactive sometimes. I know that's my problem, definitely. So I'm projecting a little bit. And if you don't know, if you haven't watched before, I am a Virgo. So these Virgo readings, I am also talking to myself deeply. Okay, so let's see, what else do we have going on here on this side? And this one kind of looks like a person that is like leaping. Let me see if I can get the light right there. Leaping. And it looks like they're leaping towards this heart here. Oh, let's see there we go. They're kind of leaping towards the heart. And so this makes me think that again, with this idea of this beloved person, this watery person, I think that, my goodness, whatever kind of love this is, it is just really, you're full with it. And I wonder if this is maybe somebody that you are working with or you are creating with, because I feel like they're really tied up in heart, mind, and soul. But I think you're also so busy that you have to be doing some collaborating or working with them in some way, because I don't think you'd have any other time to be with them. So I do think that this is maybe somebody who maybe is already a partner, a spouse, and you are building some kind of business with them, or maybe this is somebody you work with who you are interested in. You do projects together, whatever it is. I really think that they are like your favorite person right now. And, you know, I think that as long as you're careful with these feelings and, you know, don't let it kind of eat you up, or if things don't go the way that you want them to, it's not like complete destruction of, you know, the work and the relationship. You know, we have to really be mindful of that. And also, as I was saying, when people don't match our energy, as far as like they're not doing the same amount of tasks or work, or they don't have the same amount of interests that we do, and it can become kind of a situation of feeling a bit resentful about that. We have to be mindful, right? Especially when that's tied to these feelings of love, or, you know, a deep connection, right? So we want to protect those relationships and not project on the other person, where we can consciously kind of limit that. Also, our expectations must be reasonable and stated, because they cannot read our minds. It's the other thing about us Virgos is that, TT, no, Don't push that over. TJ, come here. She's looking me right in the eye and was about to push something off of my altar. All right. So, people can't read our minds. And as Virgos, I think that we get so busy, so wrapped up in what we're doing. We just think that people know intuitively what we want, what we need when we need it. But that's not usually the case. So we have to communicate our wants, our needs, and our expectations. Okay. And let's see. I want to go over here and look at this one. Now we do have a goat right here. We have a little bird sitting here. So I feel like I get this like image of this goat kind of traversing up to the top of this mountain, and this little bird coming and sitting right on a rock next to him and just singing a sweet song. And I think that this is so much about, this hard work, this sweetness that is coming from it. Not only are you maybe making some kind of resources for yourself from this thing that you're doing, this work, that your career, whatever, but maybe there is a lot of emotional fulfillment happening. You are feeling very confident in your abilities, and I really feel like your heart is singing, but you're also, I think that your heart is open and you are able to relate to others in a way that sometimes, I think that it's not uncommon for Virgos to get kind of so wrapped up in what they're doing. They're hyper focused on things that we kind of put up walls even unintentionally. Just because, we're so focused on the task at hand, and that can be almost like kind of aggressive to other people, because we just want to get things done. We want to do it the way we want to do it, and we maybe don't want their help because we know how we want it our way, and that can really be kind of alienating or off-putting to other people. But I think in this configuration, you are really open and collaborative, listening to input, criticism, and, that's been productive, not just kind of met with, difficulty hearing those kinds of things or taking kind of notes or whatever. So I think just in overall a really good place. Okay. And yeah, I think that's our reading tonight, Virgo. We'll stop on that happy note there. All right. I want to thank you so much for this time that you have spent with me. I'm always so honored to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. If you haven't subscribed already, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell and it will let you know when the next videos come out. Other than that, if you want to leave a comment, I read every single one of them. It might take me a little while to get back to it, but I definitely try to comment back on each one. And I appreciate all of you so much. We will talk again in about 7 days. In the meantime, you can watch your other placements. So, yeah, thank you.